Well, it didn't work. Recall in my last episode I was crossing Frying Pan Shoals, and the plan was then to head north-northeast up into Onslow Bay, so that when the northerlies hit I would have a beam or a close reach to the Cape Lookout Bight. Unfortunately, the northerlies hit much sooner than expected and also veered northeast. So I ended up getting pushed way south, almost back into the Gulf Stream. So here we are the following morning, and the winds have continued to veer. They're more easterly now. So we're close hauled and steering north-northeast and almost laying course to the Bight. Well, despite the weather models, the wind started to pick up, and it has come more southeast, but about an hour ago it pretty much just dropped to nothing. And we got about 6 miles to go to the Bight, the Cape Lookout Bight, and I can see one other sailboat anchored in there through the binoculars, but we got very little wind. I'm having to hand steer here. It's a little too light for the wind vane, especially since we're hopefully trying to get an anchor down. We hope to get an anchor down before dark. Well, despite my best efforts, I was unable to tease that 6 miles out of her before nightfall. So I sailed into the Bight after dark and had quite a surprise when she suddenly fetched up aground. Where my chart plotter said I had plenty of water, so the chart wasn't accurate. Luckily, I was coming in on a flooding tide, and luckily because of the light winds I was going very slowly, so she was not very hard aground and floated off about 10 minutes later, and we continued on our way, breathing a sigh of relief. We're anchored inside the Bight of Cape Lookout, and there's Towboat US towing somebody, and there's another, it looks like cruising boat came in, and actually a couple boats came in looking like to shelter. We got a cold front coming. You can see these winds are picking up now. We got a good 20 knots, and so since a couple other sailboats came in here to shelter, that gives me a little more optimism that this is a decent place to ride out up front. Oh, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday. Whoa, it's cold out here. It is Thursday, the 21st of April. And believe it or not, this is calming down. We had a fun night in here last night. God, it just howled. And so everyone's anchor held. That's good. You can see the current is beginning to oppose the wind here, and it got pretty choppy in here last night. Anyway, we're going to we want to get going today because we got another bad weather system on the way this weekend, so we want to get out around Hatteras. About to go check the weather forecast. This is forecast to ease up in the next couple hours, so I'll get the updated forecast, but it's supposed to drop down to about 10 to 20 knots or so, and so that's our ticket out of here. I'm being extra cautious because that spit there, that's where I went aground coming in the other night. Obviously those sands have moved. And the chart was reading 29 feet of water. Right where the chart was reading 29 feet of water, boom.
I told you it would be absolutely, totally, and in all other ways inconceivable.
But there I was. So we know we can't trust the charts around here. So I'm being very careful. We're approximately at 35, 45 north and 74, 15 west. We rounded Cape Hatteras early this morning, and so that was good. But the winds came northwest sooner than I thought. We ended up getting out into the Gulf Stream. And that is really costing me. Because all this morning I had northwest winds. And so I'm getting dragged east-northeast at about 4 knots. This Gulf Stream is just ripping. And I can't get north of it so far. We're really struggling. The winds are starting to back now. But as you can see, we've got this slop and swell ahead. So you can see she's really struggling to push through it. And it's very uncomfortable, very difficult sailing. You might wonder what the rush is. And the rush is that we have bad weather coming tomorrow. It's not really going to hit until tomorrow night, but we have a gale system that's moving off the east coast. Right off the Carolinas there. And that's why I really had to leave the bight, because it would not have been safe to stay in that bight given the weather forecast. I went through a front there, and that was, it got pretty choppy in there because that bight is pretty big. I would not want to go through a gale system in there. If I had to stay there, I'd probably go into Beaufort, which I did last time. That's a tricky place for an engineless boat. Well, it's a little after 6 in the evening, Friday the 23rd of April, 2021, and we are finally exiting this Gulf Stream current. And look at how far. Now some of that is because of the northwest winds. We got past Hatteras and just had to stay on port tack. You know, we couldn't come up on our course. But we also got dragged by that strong current and 54, just about 55 miles. We're about 55 miles east of our track here. Saturday, the 24th of April, and we're about 60 miles east of the Bay Bridge. None of this would be a problem except that we have this big weather system moving off the coast tonight. So these winds are supposed to pick up from the southeast later on. The plan is to try to get to Pocosin. That's 75 miles. And it's about 11 in the evening now, so hopefully we can make Pocosin around 1 in the morning. It's 11 in the morning now, so hopefully we can make Pocosin after midnight. That's right about when this stuff is really going to hit. Strong southeast winds, and what we really got to watch out for on the bay are thunderstorms. So it's shaping up to be quite a fun night. Well, good morning. It is Sunday, the 25th of April, and we are coming into Pocosin. after a good night's rest, anchored in the tranquil waters of Pocosin, I make preparations to weigh anchor for the last short leg of this around the Atlantic voyage I began just about 11 months ago. Well, the afternoon breeze came up nice and brisk, so Ruth Avery's coming into Fishing Bay in a smother of foam. So I'll go forward and wrestle that staysail down, get some of the rags off of her in preparation for anchoring. And there's plenty of room to anchor, but still it's always that question. When exactly to helm down, shoot her up into the wind, so that she'll stop at the place where you want to drop your anchor and settle back on her anchor in the place where you want to be. It's something that takes some practice and something you never quite learn, as a matter of fact. And I'm looking through my log here, and it was June 6, 2020. Weighed anchor around 1100. Had light winds most of the day. And then on June 7th, we finally exit, at 5 in the morning, exit the Bay Bridge Tunnel. So it was June 6 where we weighed anchor for Ireland. And we went all the way around the North Atlantic in a little under 11 months, and now we're back. It's time to celebrate. I have no idea what this is, actually. I think it's, I think it's champagne or white wine. Wait a minute, I think we need some music here. I searched and searched for wine glasses. It was when it's not until I got to Key Biscayne, Florida, that I realized I didn't have any wine glasses on board in anticipation. So we're going to have to use plastic cups. And I searched all over Key Biscayne for even a plastic wine glass, but nobody had one, so we'll use plastic cups here. I was also looking for a bow tie, but couldn't find that either. But anyway, to a voyage. And to all upcoming voyages. Both for you and for me. Cheers, everyone.